Sorry, I'm kind of looking like Mad Mavis now, but you know this is not a traveling channel and it's not a fashion or makeup channel, so I usually give it to you raw, right? So I'm taking down my 2-month-old hairstyle. I already removed the crochet locks, the faux locks, so look at this growth. And I figured while I'm doing it, I'll just chat to you, because doing my hair is one of the things that keeps me happy while I'm here in Japan. It's therapeutic for me, you know, changing my hairstyle and doing new things, new styles, change up my face and all of that. And every time I do my hair, I get the same responses all the time. Sugoi, kawaii. And then they ask me how long it takes and all of that. I don't mind. It's so I had to use some thread to kind of tuck this. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to get out. I don't mind. It's cultural exchange, because their hair cannot change like ours. So they just marvel, like they marvel, like, how did you get your hair to change like that? Yes, 2 weeks ago you had that hairstyle and now your hair is like this. I don't mind. And I try to explain sometimes, but it's hard to explain. It's the black girl magic. I just tell them it's the black girl magic. Is it what I'm saying? Alright, this is yeah. Still them say the black girl magic. Well, coming, there's no way I can explain. Boy, look my ear growth. I can't explain. And what I do, ladies, when you have your protective hairstyle, especially for so long, make sure that it is moisturized. You see it 2 months in, and see it there. See my hand grease. I put my grease. I do my hair growth oil. Sorry, I'm using the pen because I can't bother to get up and get the comb. You know this style. I do use my hair growth. This is not good enough. It's going to break my hair. Hair growth oil. I'm gonna trim it up anyhow. Yeah, I use my hair growth oil. I make my own oil, and I use like ear oil. There's a ear oil that I use. I get it from Irie. Let me show you. Go for it and show you. Get the comb same time. It's working out for me. Okay, see it here. So it's not like me never have comb 100 yen for them. So I have comb, just couldn't bother. This is a hair oil that I use. I love it. Ladies, let me tell you, you can get this on iHerb. See all my hair in it. My hair, it's really nice. It reminds me of those traditional Vaseline where your mother used to use in her hair, and it has mineral oil, paraffin, lanolin, coconut oil. Yeah, you can check it out and use my code to get discount on your iHerb products. Okay, so I just want to sit down and have a little chat while I undo my hair. I'm gonna wash it. Tomorrow is holiday. I'm gonna wash it and then do a new hairstyle. So stay tuned for the new hairstyle. Oh, I'm looking over there because I'm looking in the mirror. I'm trying to catch the end of the hair. All right, so as we speak about hair products and hair business and hair oil and whatever, usually when I'm making my coat uncoat hair growth oil, I use like essential oils. Like I put some tea tree oil in it. I use coconut oil. I use my black Jamaica black castor oil and stuff like that. And it's sometimes I try not to use too much of one thing also, because that's one of the things about living here in Japan. Like, they have so many rules, right? And one of the unmentioned, well, what would you say, one of the cultural rules is that you must go scentless, no fragrances. So most people, see there, well moisturized, well moisturized. Make sure you moisturize your scalp, otherwise the hair going to be dry, brittle, and break. Look, we're not losing much. We're not losing. That's what it is. And before you actually do your protective style, you need to moisturize the hair properly and trim it up and stuff like that. So see it there, 2 months. See? So yeah, it's a scentless nation. No fragrances allowed, okay? And if you wear something that is outside of the normal little faint mint scent, or you know, them look a faint oriental scent and whatever, it just make you feel guilty, like, oh, I'm causing people to sneeze and cough. And some people are just genuinely sensitive to it, because I've been living here for a while. My nose start to get sensitive to it. May I use, see, I'm using my little coconut cocoa butter lotion, cocoa butter, you know, that I love, know and love and trust, and a little shea moisture, and it smells too strong for me. I'm like, don't pick up dirty style, don't do that. Your girl will love your body splash. Bath and Body Works, Victoria's Secret. Yeah, look cheap on them. I'm not a perfume girl, I'm just trying to get into it. Seisha G has been sharing some perfumes and stuff that can be used as dupes for some more expensive lines, and you can get those on Amazon. So I've been trying to get into that. I bought 3 discovery sets, and I'm trying to figure out the ones that I like, so I can buy the full bottle or bottle. So yeah, but differently still. Like the other day, I felt so fragrance deprived. I felt like I just want to get something nice and smell, smells thing, but you want to smell, you know what I mean, ladies, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. See there? See the growth there? Look at that. You know what I mean. I just felt like I wanted something sweetish for my body. But we have to be mindful that, we live in the people in country, and these are their rules and regulations. And if you want to just, you can not abide by it, and you can just rebel and do your own thing. But if you want to be a good law-abiding citizen that people trust and respect, then you would need to do the things that make you fit into the culture. So that's one of the, there are a lot of restrictions, and I'm not a girl. I'm not a restricted type of girl, you understand me? I believe that Jamaica has too much freedom. Yeah, we're a very entitled nation, and because we're spoiled to have so much freedom, when the freedom is seemingly being taken away, we rebel and we go on the most way, and we don't like bro God and Angel this and Angel that. Jamaicans, you know what I mean, right? So too much freedom, and some of it needs to be balanced. In everything you need balance, right? In everything we need balance. So you can't have too much freedom and no rules, or more freedom than you have rules. And the reverse is true. You can't have more rules than freedom. And I think this is the case here. I just feel restricted, meow. Like, yeah, why would you not be able to wear your fragrances? And everything seems so strong. I brought a hand sanitizer that I brought from Jamaica almost 3 years ago, and I still have it because I feel guilty every time I use it. It's not like I can't use it. I can, but people knows literally tingle. And some persons just pretend and behave with them discrimination because they know that the culture is not for fragrances and they're not being affected, but they're covering nose and whatever. But some just, it's true, they have become sensitive and, you know, allergic reactions and stuff. So we have to be mindful of other people and respect other people's space, especially in the workplace. You know, you don't want to spray up. You know, when we are spray up, you know, we spray up. You understand? So that's one of the things that I don't really appreciate. And everywhere you go to live, even in Jamaica, there are a lot of restrictions that I don't appreciate. So I don't feel like say, oh, well, I should go back to your yard then because you have this problem and that problem. Jamaica is backward in so many ways. Like, I used to work at a government entity, and if you wear shorts and sleeveless, you cannot go inside. I don't know if it is still the same rules and stuff. So, and then remember, you know, it's a hot country. Summer all year round, basically. You understand? So yeah, I don't really like that. The rules. The rules are not flexible. Not like that. If you're dealing with human beings, you're not dealing with robots. And then because of the whole culture now, they like to be told what to do. Okay, do your homework, go to bed at X time, get up at Y. So you know, there's no like room for independent thinking and for independent actions. It's just going according to what the society dictates. And that is why a whole lot of marriages here, they just get married because of what the society dictates. And outside of doing what the society dictates, you're being looked down on, and you're in some cases ostracized. Okay, you have a child outside of marriage, but you're married though and not have a marriage. There is something called loveless marriage here. It's very prevalent. A lot of persons are going through it. That's why they work long hours, because they really have nothing to go home to, and that's why they cheat. And foreign ladies, let me tell you this, if you are found cheating with a Japanese man, they can charge you even if you didn't know that he was married. So be careful. Most of them get married pretty young, because it is just to get married. You have to get married to have a child, and that in and of itself is not so bad. But what is terrible is the fact that there is really no marriage. It's just going according to what the society dictates. Because I would have loved for something like that to be established, or properly better established in Jamaica. We are a Christian country. We have the world, we're in the Guinness Book of World Record for the country that has the most churches per square mile. Yet there are so many broken homes and single parent homes and stuff like that. That's not nice. That's not good. You want to establish a proper family base and value, you understand? So in any case, none of it is good, and a lot of persons remain married because of the kids, and it is the same in a lot of societies. But you know, not complaining about that, because I don't plan to marry anybody from here, because no, even if you get married, they still have more rights than you do. You're not integrated and say you're a part of. You're still like outcasts, trying to sitting on the bench where they sit, but you're really not a part of them. You're not considered one. You understand? Even your children. And I don't want to put my children through that because of my own selfishness. Because of my own selfishness for my kids to go through something like that. I think not. I don't want my children to grow up in a society where they'll always be seen as outcasts And that's where a lot of children have mental issues, because it's hard to process, even as a child. Even as an adult, it's hard to process. So imagine, as a child, you're not seen as one of us, even though my mother or my father is, you know, you're still seen as this. And then this derogatory name, Hafu, and half is being attached to you. I would never want to put my child or children through such a culture, a rigorous and cruel and callous culture, where they don't feel like they fit in at any point in time. They're just allowed a space on the bench, but they never fit in. I don't like that. So that's those are two reasons so far why I wouldn't want to stay here permanently. Yes, that's what the video is about. And reason number 3, I'm going to tell you this story. Yesterday, I was riding home and I saw a lady standing in the middle of the road. Not necessarily in the middle of the road, but out of the way for me. I could pass. If a car was passing, she would have been in the way. And she stood there with a piece of tissue in her hand and she was crying. As I speak about it, I feel very, very sad. I felt such a compassion for the woman. She's like in her, she up in her age. Sometimes they look young, so she might be over 60. Definitely over 60, right? So you might never know, she might be 75 or whatever, but there's sometimes they look young. And when I saw her, for me, I would have said to someone, if I was in Jamaica or so, and I see something like that, and I know it's my neighbor, she lives downstairs, I would have said to her, oh, are you okay? And if she wants somebody to talk to, I could stop and even offer a word of prayer. We're Jamaicans, Christian nation, as I have mentioned before. And it really helps. A lot of times I felt down and out, and after going to church and somebody come and give you a little hug, even that, how long I'm getting a hug? Blow, I'm going back to the ugless stage. I got some hugs in the summer when I went to look for my girlfriend, and my sister and stuff. And then last Christmas I get 2 little half hug, because Japanese and them rules, like them feel like I'm sitting there eating with you, but you're still thinking about COVID or whatever. So what I'm saying is, like, when I'm saying how many hugs a day make you emotionally stable, that's why a lot of us are unemotionally stable right now, or emotionally unstable, because you're having a lot of clothes because the place is cold. And I felt bad, because even if I could have spoken to her, the language barrier is a thing, and it would prevent us from having a proper conversation. And so the loneliness is a very, very big reason I wouldn't want to stay here, because even if you're married and probably have family, it's still a lonely road to be, as I've mentioned, the reason before this, to be an outcast. It's still lonely. Even Japanese themselves say that this place is lonely. I don't know, she might have lost her husband or her children or whatever, and she's just there by herself. And they don't talk to strangers. So even if I was going to say, hi miss, how are you, or try to translate that deska and sit down there with her for a little while, sometimes people just want you to sit there, and listen, or just be there. Don't even say anything, and even cry with them. And I really and truly feel like, even though I feel like I want to cry when I think about it, that's not nice to be living in a neighborhood and then everybody just pass and not even stop and say, what's going on? And the other thing too is that even if you are trying to give a helping hand, because of how the society set up and say, oh, you mustn't show weakness, though you were crying, you wipe your tears and tell her that it's okay, and then you go jump in front of a train. You understand? That is so prevalent here because they bottle in emotions, and I am an emotion. I am a very emotional being. I'm a very emotional and expressive being, and I can't live in a society that suppress that. They suppress. I can't talk how I truly feel. Okay, I get the whole thing about maintaining peace, and so being a hypocrite. Well, that's how we call it in the West. Japanese says they have a Japanese term for it. I might just Google it and put it in the video. But it's like maintaining the peace, and so you're not so forward in how you deal with people. Everything have their pros and cons. Because for us, we sometimes we fight too much throughout, and we chat too much. Sometimes we can't just keep things. We don't have to confront people so much and them something they understand and maintain more peace. But when you cannot express yourself, what's it gonna do to you? It destroy you. It destroys you, right? So, not like that. So that's another thing women don't like. That's another thing that would prevent me from staying here permanently. Talking about restrictions, I have a video where my neighbor was trying to I think say bully my tribal because the way did I behave, like if I'm talking on the phone, albeit where I was living at a Leo Palace, they call it Leo Palace, but it's far from Leo Palace. I have videos of apartment tours with Leo Palaces. I have videos with traditional Japanese apartment and other apartments. I move. I have been moving, so I have those experiences. You can scroll down and watch those videos. But ouch, right here's a tender. Yeah, the Leo Palaces, the walls are thin, so I used to hear my neighbor snore because initially when I came here I didn't have a bed. In the Leo Palace they have like a loft and you put your futon up there, but I just put my futon on the ground because it was easier, and if you climb up there and then come down in the night if you want water or bathroom or whatever. So, and then my futon was like against the wall and I could hear my neighbor snoring. That's how bad it was. And sometimes people say they hear man and woman doing things. Yeah, I see or something. But where I moved to the wall wasn't as thin, and I'm not a loud person. I'm a loud person, but I know how to adjust and I'm very flexible. And as I've said about the fragrances, I try to adjust, and even though it has killed me because I want to wear my stuff, I want to wear what I want to wear. At the end of the day, so you see where I get the freedom of doing my hair, I just use it because some person said that they don't like the whole attention or whatever. I prefer to get the little attention. Well, I don't care about attention anyhow. I don't care if I get it or don't get it. You know, I'm not a shy person, but I prefer to get the attention than not to do my hair and do what I want to do, you know. So back to the whole apartment story. So the walls weren't as thin and I tried to just comply. So I'm talking to my family on the phone because I have to talk to my family. Who else I'm gonna talk to? I have to talk to my family and friends on WhatsApp and Messenger and stuff. Why would I be shouting on the top of my lungs when I'm talking to my family in the night? Because of the time difference, it would have been like late. Why? I'm in a mad. You know me as a mad person? Yeah, I'm mad in certain ways, but not so. Okay, every time I start talking on the phone, the man I knock the wall. Knock the wall. So I start whispering, I wanna speak lower and lower. Him a knock the wall. You tell me now the truth where Jesus love. My outside on the balcony sorting out my garbage. We take it out in the morning before while when I'm on my way to work. I him that I peep over. So when he was vacuuming, and he even called the landlord and the company and complained that I'm disturbing him, and he was obviously being a bastard. So I just complained that he's disturbing me with his vacuum cleaner because he used to vacuum like 6 a.m. The following week he moved out. I'm like, yeah, better you move out. So I went to my friend's house and she was like, remember how you walking, remember. I said, me a walk normal, what me I do? But remember, them complaints that people are walking heavy at 5 a.m. and whatever. I said, I am walking and you have to walk. You have to breathe. You have to live. Oh, okay, you have to. So you have to tiptoe, you have to whisper. What kind of something that? No, sir. Can't in a society where hold me down, so. Me can conform, you know, but me no want to conform. I don't want to conform to that. I want to express myself. I want to play my music. Because you know music is our best friend, you understand? If you play my music and then look at something there and you can't even walk properly, so how that's gonna go? How that's gonna work out if you have two friends over to play a game? Listen, man. That is another thing, the whole restriction business. Even when you come out of the car, oh, don't slam the car door too loud. Okay, I understand we are being respectful to other people's space, but that's just too much for me. I don't know what you think. Put it in the comment section what you think, because in my opinion, that is just absolutely too much. And I know other Jamaicans who say, lucky, and people don't really complain. It depends. Some persons are just prejudiced and want to complain from the foreigner and want to make your life a living hell. You cannot pay rent and you can't walk in the place or do anything. It makes zero sense to me. Not like that. The other thing that I wouldn't want, why I wouldn't want to live here permanently, is that for career-wise, as I said before, I'm a very expressive person. I don't like to be in a box and I don't like monotony. And that's what my life would become. I know assistant language teachers because that's what we do here. Most of us who came here, we come to teach English as a second language. And we're assistant language teachers in the public schools. In private settings, we can be considered the main teacher, or you know, like one-on-one with children or adults or whatever. So I know ALTs, assistant language teachers, who have been working in that field for 20 years, 25 years. No, not me. Maybe if the money was more, I would have considered it. But even with JET, I don't think it is worth sitting in it for 25 years. It's not a career path. It's a stepping stone. That is just for me. As I've said before, these are my opinions. And everybody has their own opinion. If you have an opinion, you can leave it in the comment section and we can talk about it. But these are my reasons and my opinions. I want to see forward movement, and even if you have a master's degree or whatever the case may be, the chances of you becoming a manager and in your field of marketing, because a lot of us, I wouldn't say us because I'm a trained teacher, but a lot of persons haven't been trained as a teacher. They have all sorts of degrees, masters in psychology, geography, whatever, and people who did those because they want to work in the field. How are you going to work in the field in Japan? Japanese workers are everywhere. Japanese taxi drivers, Japanese customer service representatives. It is very, very hard. You can learn the language to an extent and try to get another job, but it's not so easy. And I'm not going to put myself under such undue pressure. You understand? Even married and being an assistant, yes, you're married and you're still ALT. For how much years? How many years? No, the restrictions of you doing certain things are too great. And that's it for me. Or like you're in Jamaica and you work a certain amount of money and you say, okay, 5 years now, all right? Have a little money put down one side, we can buy a house. You can do that. We're here. If it's so hard for you to get a credit card, or you're gonna get to purchase property and stuff like that, certain investment strategies, you just have to throw that through the door. If it's about credit card, if it's so hard for you to get an apartment rented because you're a foreigner, says a house they get for buy. If it was that easy, a lot of persons would have owned houses already, because some persons decide that they're going to stay here because it's better than where they're coming from. But for me, freedom, ease, and peace is very important for me. Understand? Yeah. I'm not an outlaw. I'm not a outlandish person. I'm not. Yeah. I know how I've been a Christian and been in church for over 16 years. So I know how to have discipline and be obedient and all of that. But some things are just too much for me. Right? The other thing is the churches here are limited, far and wide in between. I haven't heard or seen a church since I came to this city. The possibility lies where I can find churches, but because of the pandemic and stuff, I wouldn't be going out to try to find anywhere right now because most people are doing their online stuff. But the possibility also lies where there is none. Right? I was blessed to find one when I just came here, and I made some good relationships with foreigners and another Jamaican person and stuff. It lasted while it lasted. Sometimes relationships are for a season, and that's another thing here in Japan. Like, okay, before I go on to that. So the restriction of you not being able to worship God in the way that you're used to. And of course, people are going to disagree with me because they might say, well, God is everywhere. I didn't say anything like that. I didn't say he's not everywhere. I'm just saying the cultural aspect of how you would worship and go to church, it's not available here. And so a lot of times you feel like, a lot of us are coming from youth president, dancing in church, witnessing evangelism and certain things, but it is very, very different here. And of course, you have a purpose everywhere, and while you're here, you could start something and conform to their style and get used to it and all of that, because I actually got used to that. And I don't think I got used to it. I just accepted it because it was the best thing, the best the best thing. There wasn't a lot of options, so I just had to just accept it and say thank God for the little that I get. And there was a guy who had to translate for me. God bless his soul. I even testified in Japanese and so I was building relationship until I moved, and they're doing online stuff now, church, and it's all in Japanese, so I have no one there to translate for me. So, but I have a prayer group and things like that. A lot of things are online, so people are gonna say, yeah, but most things are online right now. But there are sometimes you wanna go in the sanctuary. I I loved singing on the choir, as much as it was annoying to me at some point because it was a lot, and choir practice almost every week and then something there. No, not almost, every week almost. And then at one point it was 2 times a week because I was on a different choir and whatever. And yeah, church did kind of get to me sometimes. I was churched out at one point, but you would love to have the option if you don't want to go or if you want to go. Ah, boy. Yeah, some people said, "Call on no use of them tail till them losing." Not true. Not true, man. I would love to be able to sing on the praise team. I will harmonize and the choir and all of that. Yeah, that's limited and restricted here. Yeah, and of course you can find people who you can discuss the Bible with and stuff, but it's hard to find like-minded people. Their main religion is Buddhism and things. They find a lot of shrines and temples, especially in Kyoto. They have over 1,000 shrines and over 500 temples and them something there, or the other way around, something like that, but a whole lot, you know. They have temples as the amount of churches we have in Jamaica. So yeah, those are some of the reasons. Other than the other little annoying stuff, like if I'm doing my hair and I run out of something, I can't just go down the road and buy it because they don't have products for black women. But you can find some things that are equivalent. Like I bought this. It's mousse, you know. It's not the regular mousse that we're used to or whatever, but sometimes if you just read the stuff and translate it, cool like it was in the freezer. Yeah, so certain other little things like that I can live with. Ordering stuff online and make sure say order the proper amount and all of that, because they run out of here, you can't go down and miss a chin, go buy here. And then the food, I can buy my little stuff and then my family send care package from me the other day. There's a video about that on the channel as well. So those are the things I can manage, but the major things to live here as a citizen, and that is my life forever. Oh, almost I forget the whole point of the difficulty of meeting a partner. Hey. I've spoken about those things over and over. Oh, I think I mentioned it in the first half of the video. The loveless marriages and them something there. And not being accepted by a Japanese man's family and all of that. All of that. So, yeah, my hair finished pull out now. I'm going to get it sorted, wash it, see there? Grow it nicely, because remember it not comb out, you know, it's just pull out. So imagine when it comb out. Oh yeah, man, this year I want it grow long. You see, shrinkage. So I'm going to end the video now because my hair finished pull out. I'm gonna end the video and find something to do. Now wash till tomorrow. Wash it. Ooh. Alright, so that's my little calm and easy sit down chit chat. Boom bang, I'm out.